folks, here we are at the trailhead, 11:35 a.m. Sunday the 10th. Getting ready to go get on this trail and see what it's all about. Got a couple other cars here, so got a couple people in here. Again, no name to the trail, just the fact that it's a trail, or maybe it's Trail 511. I don't know. I'm gonna have to find out. Have to look into it more. Yeah. Here we go. Well, I will have to say that so far this trail's been fairly close to the road. Been really wide and easy to walk. You can see there's some houses there. And here's the trail. It's almost like a road. Not quite wide enough as a road, but you could definitely get a four-wheeler down it for sure. Yeah, you can hear cars driving by. Sorry folks, I don't really have a lot to report on today. You know, other than it's a new trail, trying new things. I think in my midweek I might have to talk about nutrition a little bit more. This week maybe do a weigh-in, because believe it or not, it's been about 4 weeks since we started this. Yeah, this is just a beautiful trail. Beautiful, beautiful trail. Haven't went up any mountains yet. It's just been kind of rolling across them. So, we'll see. Okay everybody, I just come from that direction right there, walked up, and I have a trail leading off that way and the trail leading off that way. So I think I'm at the loop that the trail talked about. I think no matter which way I go, I'm gonna come back in the other way. At least that's my best guess. So I'm going to take a trail to the right and see if I come back out over here on the left, and if so, I will report that back to you. But so far it's been an excellent hike. Really enjoyed it. Okay folks, it looks like maybe I was wrong. I've passed a lot of logs laying across this trail. Plus I haven't seen any blazes this way, yellow blazes. Again, this trail is marked in double yellow, so I'm thinking that this is not the way. Although it is a trail, I'm wondering if it's an older trail, but I did see a double blaze back at that loop, or what I thought was the loop, off in the other direction. Plus I got another split here. I'm not really sure what's going on, but none of these trees are marked. And again, I've come up on this, brush pile here. So the trail maintenance has been poor. And again, I hear some more logs laying across, but you can see where people just kind of made their own trail around this. And maybe this isn't a trail, maybe it's just a, whenever water gets too high, although I find that hard to believe. It's taking an awfully lot for water to get from up there, or from down there to up here. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but we're almost back to the last spot. I'll show you what I mean. So here we are back at where I last shot what I thought was a loop. You can see the yellow blazes here leading you back in the direction that came from. And I turned to the right and I haven't seen any yellow blazes yet. But if I turn to the left instead and come over here towards the riverbank, you do see a blaze here in this tree. So I'm thinking maybe we should go this way instead. But hey, this is cool. I didn't think this stream was running, but actually it is. Doubt there's much trout in it though, or bass. Hello there everybody. Just wanted to show you this Mountain Laurel tunnel that I'm currently in. Come from that way, headed into the creepy tunnel this way. Creepy but pretty. We've been kind of following this riverbank for a while. Want to take a minute and show you all this neat little waterfall. Man, all the water is just crystal clear in there too. Sure is relaxing. Hey there, everybody. Just wanted to let you know that the trail's starting to get a little sketchy here. It's kind of hard to figure out where it is, where it's not. I thought for sure in reading our online article that it said you cross the stream like 3 times, and I've done crosses, I know, at least 20. I do still see the blazes every once in a while, although they are far and few between. No sign of a loop, no signs. So, once again, I'm a little disappointed in the lack of information provided to you on the trail. Whenever I done my first hike up to High Knob Tower, we come across that sign that said, it was another half a mile or whatever, and told you the direction to go. Up here at Honequery, it's just not marked. The blazes are far and few between. The trail's starting to get a little sketchy. The maintenance of the trail is poor. So because of all those reasons, people like me give up on finishing the trail because I have no idea where I'm at, how much longer it's going to take, how much longer it is. Again, the trail's not well marked, so it's 1:03 now. I think we started pretty close to 12, which means I've been out here for an hour hiking. It's probably going to take me an hour to get back. So that's a 2-hour hike. How long it's been, I don't know. I'm going to say I've been at least 1.5 miles. So, 3-mile round trip. It's been a nice hike. I haven't gotten overly sweaty yet. Breathing hasn't been bad. Hasn't been all uphill, which have found to be both good and bad. The good part is it is a nice hike. The bad part is we're not going to see any sights, especially like what we did in Camden. Man, I tell you what, that was a beautiful place last week on last week's hike. This here, you're just kind of in the middle of the woods. Again, I'm just going to turn around and head back. It seems like that they've used the creek bed here as the trail mostly. It's pretty rocky, stumbling over a lot of stuff. Again, just not well marked. No idea how much longer it's going to be. So I'm just going to head back, and this week we're definitely going to look for some better trails to hike. I know that Virginia has a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, they have quite a few trails that were the railroad, where they pulled up the railroad tracks and they made a trail out of it. I'm not overly excited about those, and the reason being is because they are flat. Very flat trails, I'm assuming, or the grades wouldn't be real steep because, after all, the train had to travel up it. And, whenever you try and lose weight, you're trying to get those uphills and downhills to burn those calories. So, I don't know. I know that there is 1 or 2 of those trails I'd like to hit just because of the history behind them. I do like history. I think the High Bridge Trail is one of them. But, we'll see where it takes us. Next week I might look at, some other George Washington forest trails in a different area, different district. Maybe the different districts do better than others. We'll see. We'll go to a place. I've been curious if there's any trails up towards Stanton Dam. I don't know how many of people here are familiar with that. But we used to go there a lot whenever I was a kid in camp. We didn't look for hiking trails then. We didn't hike then. whenever I say we, I mean me and my parents. You know, my parents wasn't into hiking. I wasn't either. We fished the dam a lot, and this is after they opened it for fishing. But I don't know if there's any hiking trails up that way or not. I'm gonna have to take a look online and see, and hopefully we can find some better marked trails. I know that there's one trail up there that I'd like to do eventually, but it's a 26-mile loop, so that might be an actual 2-day, all-day, 2-day event. Once I get better at this, I mean that could actually be a 3-day event for me. You know, I think a lot of people who start out on the Appalachian Trail, you know, an 8-mile day is a big day for people starting out. And the shelters are about 8 miles apart, roughly, you know. 8, 10, 12, you know, 7, 6 miles apart, whatever they happen to be. So to do a 26-mile hike, man, that could be brutal, especially if you're not used to hiking like me. But you know, we'll just see. You know, that trail will always be there, so we'll see how it goes. That'll come later down the road. But for right now, I think I'm going to turn around on this trail. I think it is the correct trail that we've been looking at this time around. Of course, a sign out front would have been very helpful to confirm it. But again, no signs. So I am going to turn around and start heading back. We'll see y'all towards the end. It's going to take you a minute to show you this little waterfall from the other angle. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Well, folks, this here's the way that I'm going. As you can see, it's pretty much a riverbed. And this here's the way that I came. Hopefully you can see a big old wide trail over there on the other side of the riverbed. But I just noticed what I missed. Here's a double blaze. And I noticed that it was kind of angled wrong for the way that I was walking. So I looked back up the hill here, and sure enough, there's another blaze. So here's a trail going off this way that I completely missed. You know, I'll be honest with you, a couple other people missed it too, because I passed them all back there. It goes up, and I don't know where. So back there, whenever I was complaining that the trail was getting, well, you know, actually right here's another blaze as well. Going this way. So now I'm really confused on which way I should have went. Got blazes going each way. It's either two different trails, or this here's where the loop is. My guess is that this is the loop. But just goes to show you how easy you can miss them out here, especially whenever they aren't maintained. I think that's probably the biggest problem. Alright folks, we're back out here at the trailhead. It is 2:13. So yeah, I believe I started around 12. So 2-hour hike. You know, I would rate the trail between 1 and 5. I would give it a 2. Just because it's not clearly marked. There's no signs, there's no directions, there's no anything really. There's a trailhead, and then you're pretty much on your own. It's not maintained well. You know, my hike up the High Knob Tower was, you know, between 1 and 5. I'd give that a 4. Mainly because it was just very steep. But you know, hey, you know, you can't have everything you want in a hike. But this trail here is just, you know, it starts off good, but the farther up you go, it just seems to follow the riverbank or the creek bank, or the creek bed is pretty much your trail, which of course is nothing but rocks. You know, I showed you that one place where it looked like it split. Maybe that was the loop. Again, not for certain because there was no sign. That would be a great place to put a sign that says, hey, loop starts here. So not the most enjoyable trail so far. So far the most enjoyable one has been the one in Maine, Camden, Maine, and you know, second to that so far has been the High Knob Tower. I've been on 2 of them up here at Honequery now. Not very impressed at all. I think that they have a couple other trails which I will not be exploring, just because of the nature of the trails, the lack of maintenance in them. So until my midweek, we'll see you then.